From the Northway Bank Online Newsroom, I'm Gary McKenzie. This local and regional news update is brought to you by Northway Bank. Want a Northway Bank teller to keep in your pocket? There's an app for that. Now available for iPhone and Android. Download yours today. Northway Bank with 17 locations throughout New Hampshire. The people you know, the bank you trust. Member FDIC, equal housing lender. The state of New Hampshire's Department of Environmental Services says water users on Province Lake in Effingham should avoid contact with water that has surface scum or blue-green clouds and keep pets away from it as well. DES has issued a cyanobacteria warning for the lake due to extensive greenish clouds and streaks of the bacteria. The state says the bacteria are natural components of water bodies around the world, but blooms and surface scum can form when there's excess phosphorus in the water. DES routinely monitors public beaches and waters of the state for the bacteria and will return to the lake again next week to test it. The department recommends you monitor the shoreline of the lake for changing conditions. With much improved weather forecast for the weekend, it's likely more bicyclists will be taken to the roads to enjoy the outdoors. Author Marty Bash, who writes a bicycle column for the Conway Daily Sun and has published a White Mountain Ride Guide, has been riding bicycles for decades and is very familiar with the riding conditions on the roads and on the trails in the Valley area and western Maine. He urges everyone out on the roads and trails, whether riding in a car, on a motorcycle, or a bicycle, to realize the roads and trails have to be shared and to use common sense. Bike riders should ride with the traffic and wear a helmet. New Hampshire law requires kids up to 16 to wear a helmet, and Bash says it's a good idea for adults as well. He says bike riders should communicate with other people using the roads and trails, use hand signals, and adhere to all the rules of the road. That means stopping at stop signs and red lights. Riders riding near dusk and dawn should have working lights on their bikes. And Bash says carrying a lock to secure your bike is a good idea. He hopes vehicle drivers will realize bike riders can sometimes encounter broken pavement or other obstacles on the side of the road. He urges everyone to anticipate what may happen.
Look ahead while you're riding. Be cognizant of your environment and be pleasant, because remember, as a bicyclist, when you're out there, you are an ambassador for this lifestyle that you have chosen. So play by the rules.
Bash says he likes the riding lifestyle because it gives him a feeling of freedom and independence, and
it's outdoor recreation that I can do while sitting down.
He's a member of the Mount Washington Valley Bicycling Club that sponsors frequent group bike rides and has a mission statement to promote safe cycling, unite cyclists, and foster youth cycling throughout the valley. For more riding safety and preparation tips, see the club's website at mwvbicyclingclub.org. In Maine news, Governor Paul LePage is directing the state to examine the safety of the state's rail infrastructure after the recent oil train derailment in Canada near Maine's border. The Republican governor issued an executive order earlier this week calling on the Department of Transportation to review federal safety reports on Maine's railways. An oil-carrying train broke loose early Saturday in Quebec, causing a crash that killed more than 20 people. Dozens remain missing and are presumed dead. The train was heading into Maine and has raised questions about the safety of transporting oil by rail. The governor is also ordering the department to use any information about the cause of the train derailment in Canada to make any necessary changes to the state's rail infrastructure. In sports, the New Hampshire Fisher Cats turned 9 hits into 5 runs and beat the Reading Fightin' Phils 5-1 yesterday in Pennsylvania. It was a tough return from the All-Star break for the Portland Sea Dogs yesterday, who dropped a doubleheader to the B-Mets in New York, losing the first game 6-5 and the second 4-0. And Daniel Nava hit a 2-out single in the top of the 10th to score pinch runner Jackie Bradley Jr., and the Red Sox rallied from a 4-run deficit for the second time in a 4-game series to beat the Seattle Mariners 8-7 in 10 innings on the West Coast. In the weather today, partly sunny, highs around 80 with light winds. Partly cloudy in the evening tonight, then clearing, lows in the mid-50s, upper 50s in southern Carroll County with light winds. And mostly sunny Saturday, highs in the lower 80s. From the Northway Bank Online Newsroom, I'm Gary McKenzie.